Welcome. Today is May 18th. We're going to be looking over the Volume 3 reward changes that Jagex has provided with a blog post. They released this back on the 13th of May, so I'm a few days behind on it, but we're going to go through it today. Nice quick little video. I also have, today they dropped Poll 76 improvements, so I also want to go through that afterwards. Nice quick little video going through what they've addressed and what they plan to change. I am recording this live on stream, so everybody that's here, thank you. If you guys would like to join the stream, link will always be in the description down below. So let's get right into it. So the Tubes of Amascut reward changes. We all know that with the rewards passing, this happened in the last vote, the last poll that they did in game. All the rewards passed. Some of you felt as if we missed the mark with some of the rewards offered within the Tombs of Amascut. There was a feeling amongst the team and the community that some rewards could be tweaked to be improved, and we've seen some great suggestions for additional rewards we agreed would strengthen the rewards pool. So today we're presenting you with an alternative proposal for a reward, a tweak to a reward, and a brand new reward. So what are they? As always, we refer to the in-game timing as cycles. We call it ticks, they call it cycles. 0.6 seconds in a tick. So, first thing we're going to be looking at is the Shadow of Tumekin. One of the biggest comparisons we made during the polling processes, or the polling process of Tombs of Amascut, is that if you look at the previous two raids, they have that one standout item. Chambers of Zarek has a Twisted Bow, and TOB, Theater of Blood, has a Scythe of Itter. We think that it's very important for the Tombs of Amascut to have has rewards that are deemed desirable for the foreseeable future. After all, raids are some of our biggest pieces of PvM content, and they should have rewards that showcase that. Here we go. As much as you and the members of the team enjoyed the idea behind a more interesting weapon like the Heka, we couldn't ignore the feedback that Tombs of Amascut was missing an item that would redefine magic as a combat style, just as the Scythe and the Twisted Bow did. So, with that being said, they are proposing to replace the Heka with a new mage weapon, introducing the Shadow of Tumekin, a two-handed magic staff. Whoa! So here's a little bit of lore. When the forces of the ruinous powers arrived in their lands, Tumekin and his people found themselves facing an enemy unlike any other, while his children, Amascut and, Iclarin, sought powerful allies to aid them. Tumekin himself hunted down a weapon of great power to use against this new threat. However, rather than claiming this weapon for himself, he instead used it to create the Shadow of Tumekin. This staff is powered by the sun itself, and with that brightest light comes the darkest shadows. Oh. Alright, so the requirements for the staff is going to be 85 magic. Here are some of its special effects. And the Shadow of Tumekin is equipped, magic strength from gears tripled. This effect is capped at a total of 100% magic strength. And the Shadow of Tumekin is equipped, magic accuracy from gears also tripled. So it gives us 1 prayer, 5 attack rate, it has 20 magic defense, 35 magic attack. Cool. So those are the proposed stats for the Tumekin. Similar to a powered stave, it will have built-in spell with charges powered by soul and chaos runes. This staff will have an attack rate of 5 cycles and can only be used in PvM, like other powered magical weapons. Base max hit is calculated from the following formula: magic level divided by 3 plus 1. Oh god. Shadow of Tumekin also comes with 2 passive effects. Magic strength from gears tripled, and the accuracy is tripled. We saw that. This allows weapons to be set apart from others in 2 distinct ways. Firstly, this means that current magic weaponry still remains viable if your setup includes a low amount of magic switches, whereas for a setup with a fair amount of magic switches, the gap between this and prior mage weaponry will grow. Awesome. Secondly, this weaponry makes fighting with magic viable against enemies that have moderate magic defense. Currently, magic is rarely used against any enemies with more than 20k magic defense, as it is not overly accurate with low damage to boot. With other styles boasting much more high raw damage output and comparable, if not significantly higher accuracy, this weapon should at least help bridge that gap, although you'll better be off using other combat style against high magic defense enemy. Okay. Below is a handful of monsters that this new mage weapon might become viable with. Okay, with the additional accuracy, green indicates the highest DPS and red indicates the lowest DPS. Right. So, for Zuck, they're still going to say, wow, this staff is a little worse than the Twisted Bow. That's up, which is cool. Demonic Gorillas, the Arclight, it's a little behind the Arclight and the Blowpipe. Zilliana, it's going to be Biss. For Mage, it's going to be best at Kree. It's going to be still worse at Cerberus, but comparable. It'll be good at the Abyssal Portal, though. The Flying Calphite Queen it'll be good against. It's gonna be shit against the Hydra. And it'll be really good against Krill. So it looks like God Wars is gonna be a lot of maging at God Wars at this point. So the first poll question is, should the Shadow of Tumekin be added to the game as explained? I mean, yeah, let's fucking send it. I don't know. It seems like a pretty cool idea. A two-handed mage weapon that's strong as fuck. Hell yeah, bro. Tripling accuracy. So next, we are going to be talking about Osmund's Fang. Osmund's Fang. Oh god. So when creating Osmund's Fang, we had a couple of goals in mind. Create a competitive high accuracy weapon in order to create a new design space for high defense monsters without being overly frustrating to kill. Sound it out. Introduce more meta under 4 or over 4 cycle weapons. These interact somewhat uniquely with content to help diversify gameplay. Experiment with unique damage curves. So, it did pass, and we believe it fulfills these goals well, but our first goal, we had to chuck a lot of flat accuracy stat to make it achieve the levels needed for it to be desirable, a crazy 175 accuracy. This feels a little forced, so we want to propose a new shift in how we achieve this goal. So for Osmund's Fang, you're going to need 82 attack, and this thing is going to be interesting. 105 attack, 75 slash, 103 melee strength with a 5 cycle attack rate. So its special attack will increase the max hit of the weapon to its true max hit for 1 attack, which is nuts. Also boosts accuracy by an additional 50%, and it only costs 25% spec for that. That's sick. So, before we get into the changes made to the Fang, it will be noted that all previous workings of the Fang are still the same, including its special attack and special attack effect against Corp Beast. You can find more about it in our previous rewards post. Right, here's a look at the DPS curve for comparison against the previous version and the Grazi Rapier. So, the red line is the Grazi Rapier's DPS for its effective defense. So the higher the defense goes, the lower the DPS goes. And then the new Fang is the green. The old was the purple, so it seems to be less strong at lower defenses, but it will ramp up better as they get higher defense. Which, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm down for it. Should the Osmund's Fang have changes made as explained in the Tombs of Massacre rewards? Sure. Next, Thread of Elidinus. And lastly, an additional reward that we would propose to add to the current set. Whoa. With this being a somewhat magical raid, players suggest a potential upgrade to the Rune Pouch. Let's go! No way, we are proposing to add this Thread of Elidinus, a new untradeable reward. 60 crafting requirements. A magical thread, once woven by an ancient seamstress, can be used together with a needle to imbue your Rune Pouch with magical energy, allowing you to store an additional type of rune within it. So 4 runes in the Rune Pouch. You won't be allowed to have both the new and old version of the Rune Pouch simultaneously, as that might be a tad powerful. Yeah, maybe. That'd be 7 runes in the pouch. In 2 different pouches. That'd be sick. That would be cool. If the player loses a thread, they'll have to reobtain it through a Tomb of Amascut, although you will be able to obtain multiple threads, as this would be a somewhat common drop due to its untradeable nature. Oh, this would be awesome. I think this is a great idea. What's up, Don? That's huge. Should they add the Thread of Elidinus? Yes, I think they should. I think that's a great idea. What's next? The Breach of the Scarab. While we are here, we want to also bring up the special jewels you'll be able to get from the Tombs of Amascut that can be inserted into the Karis' Partisan. That's the new weapon we got from that last quest. So they're talking about the sockets now. Although the majority of them only affect the raid itself and won't be pulled, there's one that will affect things outside of it and is something that we want to pull alongside these other questions. Okay. The Breach of Scarab is an untradeable item that adds 33% accuracy buffed against Calphites, Scarabs, and Beetles, so will be great weapons for certain areas within the Caridian Desert. Yes. I like that. 33% accuracy for Calphites. Yes. Yes, Don, we just finished going through it. So yeah, we're looking at... Let's go back through it quickly. So they want to propose an instead of the Heka, they want to instead introduce this two-handed magic staff called the Shadow of Tumekin, which sounds awesome. It sounds super strong, and I can't wait to look at the design that they have for it. I'm all for it over the Heka. Next, they want to change the Osmutton's Fang slightly, just so it scales better against high defense enemies. More comparable, you know, more of like a difference to the Rapier, because this purple line, it seems like it's too close to the Rapier and how it acts, so this green line, it'll act different from how the Rapier acts. So yeah, I'm down for that. And then the third thing is the Thread of Illness, an all-new item. Yes, please. 4 rune pouch, 4 slot rune pouch, and then the Breach of the Scarab, which is the first socket that we're really getting to learn about for our Karis Partisan. Very excited for that. Cool. Now, the next thing that I wanted to go over today quickly was the Pulse 76 improvements. This just dropped today. Something small. And I just decided to pair this with the Tombs of Amascut rewards because this came out just 5 days ago. So yeah, now this came out today. Let's see what they're talking about today. See what Jax is on about today. So, today, the next batch of Pulse 76 improvements arrive in-game this week. We're kicking things off with Hellhounds, who now drop ensouled Hellhound heads. They're worth 1200 per XP each and slot neatly into the expert tier of reanimation. Any reanimated Hellhounds you kill will work for both Slayer tasks and the Soul Bearer. Fun fact, since Cerberus is technically a Hellhound, she can drop these heads too. Cool. Smithing and jewelry crafting interfaces now remember the last item you crafted and outline it with a shiny highlight. As long as you have the right materials in your backpack, you can press the spacebar to craft it again. If you don't have the necessary items, you'll be unable to craft using the space key, and the highlight will be removed. Okay. Next up, a fairy ring has sprouted in the north of the Isle of Souls. We'll let you figure out the code. Let's go! That's so nice for that clue step. And this interface thing is huge, and a nice minor improvement with Hellhounds. Now getting an actual another drop on their table. That isn't a clue scroll or like what is the other one? The smoldering stone. That's awesome, and I'm very excited about this jewelry crafting interface. And my Iron Man is going to enjoy that. And this fairy ring is awesome for those clue steps that are on Isle of Souls, or honestly Slayer tasks on the Isle of Souls on my Iron Man are also perfect for that. Speaking of Soul Wars, it is now playable on every world, and we've made some changes to bring XP rates in line with what we promised in the original poll. Okay. Attack, defense, strength, and HP are now 30 XP per token, up from 24. Range and magic are now 27 XP per token, up from 22. Prayer is now 14 XP per token, up from 12. Awesome. We also added a buy X option to the other tab in the Soul Wars reward shop. Sweet. Lastly, NPCs and fight caves are now visible at further distances. Good news for fire cape hunters. Oh, I'm excited to try that out. Maybe we send a fire cape today. Maybe get the pet. Check out the new visible, see how much more visible they really are. So, next up are some improvement trains on the mobiles things, some mobile improvements. I'm not really interested in any of that. Other changes, Trover Parchment changes. First up, we have changes to the Trover Parchment. This can now be used on League's 3 version of the Void Knight equipment, Dragon Defenders trimmed, and Rune Defenders trimmed. Very nice, very niche, very nice. In terms of its behavior, if the item is locked, upon PvP death, the PK will receive the value of the Trover Parchment and the Ornament Kit, and the regular version of the item will return to its owner. Wait. Receive the Trover Parchment and the Ornament Kit, and the regular version of the item will return to its owner. This occurs at all levels of the wilderness. So, upon PvP death, PK will receive the Trover Parchment and the Ornament Kit. And the regular version of the item will be returned to the owner. That's such a bad wording. If the item is not locked, upon PvP death, the PK will receive gold equivalent to the value of the item, minus the value of an Ornament Kit, and the Ornament Kit. At the wilderness levels below 20, the owner will receive a broken version of the original item. At wilderness levels above 20, the owner will receive nothing. So just don't bring your Ornament Kits into the wilderness, please. What the fuck? Smaller changes. Roofs on the tents of Shazian Infirmary are now automatically hidden. We've also removed some environmental objects from around the tents to make moving between them easier. We fixed an issue that occurred when teleporting within items in the drag state. When teleporting with items in the drag state. Interesting. Items no longer drag or drift in the inventory when pre-selecting an item and moving it. Okay. Prayer books with a League's 3 Ornament Kit will now appear with that model when preaching with them. Good. The bigger and badder Slayer reward unlock no longer appears as a pie on the pie reward interface. Okay. Charged Pharaoh Scepters are now a bit brighter. Oh, that's nice. Tianzhou no longer has a buy limit on Chronicle cards. Go wild. Sweet. Temporos fishy spots no longer have holes in their click box. How else can we keep the fish in? There we go. I didn't know that was a thing, but that's good. Good that they fixed that. And finally, participants in the Guardians of the Rift are asked not to cast alchemy spells. You've got a universe to save, mate. You can't cast alch in there anymore? Wow, they just ruined people. No way, you've got a universe to save, mate. Wow. Alright, and finally, I think this is the last bit here. RuneScape Kingdoms, Shadow of Elvarg. Today, it's the moment we've been waiting for. We can finally reveal exactly what's included in Steamforged's Kickstarter. Launching May 31st, this Kickstarter is your chance to support Steamforged games and get your hands on loads of exclusive extras. What is this? A core package? A bunch of cool RuneScape things? I mean, yeah. Look at that. Even has Zuck, Jad, King Black Dragon. What is that? Vorkath? Nightmare? Maiden? Like, whoa, these are pretty cool. Whoa, Delrith? Pretty neat. Lamau, you can't alch now, mate. Yeah, no more alching. No more alching in Guardians of the Rift. That's funny as hell. Alright, that's it. Small little update for this week. And I believe that will end it for our Reddit recap today. Yeah, how about that? We looked at the Volume 3 opposed changes that they'd like to make to the Tombs of Amascut rewards, which I'm all for. And we've also looked at some small improvements this week, which are pretty nice. Nothing crazy, but hopefully the game's not broken and we can play it this week. Thank you guys for watching the YouTube video. As always, this was recorded live on stream. Links in the description for the blog post I just looked at and the stream itself. Please make sure you support. Go like, sub. Thanks for watching. Peace out.